Guys, check this shit out, bro. I literally just placed the order right now. And also, Fast Intention right now has a 4th of July sale. I got 852. Look what just came in, boy. Oh, what the fuck? You better not fuck up my shit, man. But you already know. Future video right here. I'm gonna record this shit real quick, but I'm gonna look at one of the spark plugs just to make sure that they're good. The previous owner had mentioned that they had replaced them, but I want to make sure that they put in a good brand. So what we're gonna do is we're gonna pull out one spark plug, look at the brand, and look at the condition of it, and then from there I might just leave them in for now, or I might replace them. And the only reason I'm doing this is because since we're about to install our high flow cats, I want to make sure my car is running as good as it can before we install them. So we're going to be checking our spark plugs because of that. We've already rebooted all of our ignition coils, and we've cleaned both our throttle bodies. We will be replacing the air filters as well with like OEM-like replacement, just to make sure the car's running as good as they can before I drop in the high flow. So we're gonna pull out this piece of tubing right here, just 2 8mm, and then you have the crankcase tube, and we'll go from there. Well, that is not good. I accidentally broke this fucking thing, so we're gonna have to replace probably this resonator. Yeah. Is it? Which one is it? Oh, it's this one. Okay, I see. Facebook Marketplace it is, bruh. Well, the good news is that these are actually Denzos. And let me hold it because this shit's hot as fuck. You can see that gap looks crispy, and these look good as well. So we're gonna keep these in here since he did recently replace them before selling me the vehicle, and he obviously used Denzos. So we're gonna keep them, and then we're gonna have to go on Facebook Marketplace and find a piece for that. Also, these are spark plugs are 14 millimeter, and I just use the magnet just to pull it out. So we're gonna put this back together, and then we'll have to search on Facebook Marketplace, see if we can get that part today, because I'm pretty sure it will make the car run bad for sure, since it's after the MAF. But torque specs, I don't fucking know. You do it by feel, really. So of course this part is extremely hard to find. Well, it's not that it's hard to find, it's that people charge way too much for it. So as you can see, this is what I ended up doing. I just plugged that hole and just put back the crankcase vent hose there. Obviously, because you don't want to plug the hose that's on the valve cover, because then you'll start building crankcase pressure. So I just put the hose back and plugged that hole. I never turned on the car because I knew for a fact like having that shit open would cause it to throw a code, because it's unmetered air. Basically anything after the MAF is unmetered air. So if you have an opening there, it's going to cause the engine to run poorly. But that's going to be my solution for now until I can find someone to actually sell me either the whole tubing, or I'll have to figure something. I couldn't pull the plastic piece out, so it's still in there. As you can see, that plastic piece is still in there. I was messing with it for quite a while. That one spark plug was Denso, and it was actually in really good condition. So I'm hoping and I'm assuming that the rest of them are the same, because who the fuck would only change like one spark plug? But I'm assuming the rest are all Denso, and I'm assuming the rest are all in good condition. So we got the piece back, or we got a replacement piece, you can see. So we can move on to installing them. I don't know when I'm going to install them, but we'll see. Alright, so this isn't really going to be a tutorial. But yeah, I'd got these a super long time ago, and I just recently unboxed them. I recorded myself unboxing them, but I ended up deleting the footage accidentally, so here they are. You can see the welds are super pretty. We have the resonator and the high flow. We have our passenger bung for our wideband that I'll use for tuning later on, and then we have our, I think they call these like I forgot, they're like they're called J something, but they're basically there to like prevent the check engine light from coming on. So I'll give you guys a closer look. See how with the Fast Intentions logo. This is the quality on them. Really nice. There's a honeycomb. Really, really nice. Definitely worth the money, especially if you get them on discount. Right now, I just lubricated these bolts, or these nuts and bolts. I'm gonna try to break these O2 sensors loose before I start spraying like penetrant on them, because it's not wise to spray the lubricant on the O2 sensor, like, because that's essentially what reads your oxygen readings. And so if you do end up using penetrating fluid for this, make sure to clean it off with some brake clean. That way it doesn't mess up like your O2 readings and stuff like that. All right, so they were a little bit tough, but just broke them loose, and now they are now loose. Not too bad. Obviously I live down south, so we don't really get rust here, so I ain't gotta deal with the bullshit. But it's just a 22 wrench. That's all you really need. Obviously, if these are really seized on, you'll definitely need an O2 socket for it. All right, next thing that I did is I removed my O2 connector. So you just push down on this, pull out on this side. Obviously you don't want to pull on this side because this is clamped in. So, and also I forgot to mention, they have these little hooks where you have the O2 there, and then it sits in here in this little hook, and then it goes to your connector or your harness. All right, so we removed this little bracket because I couldn't get access to the bolts with the spray can or whatever. But this bracket that sits here, you just have two 14 bolts there and then two 14 nuts here. Now we're gonna lubricate the rest of them. You're gonna need a long bar for these hose because they were fucking on there. I just got this 1/2 inch Craftsman, 1/2 inch 14. These motherfuckers are on there. But now that they're broken loose, I'm gonna hit them off with my gun. All right, so you definitely will need a ratcheting wrench for this one for sure. And it's gonna be easy just to use it on that one as well. But yeah, for sure you're gonna need a ratcheting wrench. And then for the third one that's facing the other way, I think we'll have to go from the top. So yeah, we're gonna take out these two, and then these two over here, and we'll look at the third one, which is apparently a bitch because you have to go from the top. So we now have the car on the ground. We took out the intake pieces. You can see they're just 8s. You unscrew both of these clamps, and you make sure to pull off the hose clamp off the valve cover, because that's how I broke my piece. And then this side, it's a 10 mil holds it in here, and then you have another hose clamp right there for the PCV stuff. And then if you can see it, The bolt is all the way down there. Yeah, so this one's a pain in the ass too. I did end up pulling out the box. All it is a 10 mil. Right there is what it'll be. And then remove this clip and the MAF sensor connector. And then you can basically just pull it up. It's held in by these two grommets. But see, we have a longer bar with some extensions. Alright, so here's that top bolt for the passenger side. You see the threads are a little weird, kind of like messed up a little, but overall not too bad. We're gonna pull out the passenger cat right now, see if we can figure out why it was causing that rattling noise, whether it's the element or a gasket or something. But so I'm pretty sure why the cat rattles. So the element is actually intact, or the honeycomb, whatever you call it. The honeycomb is intact. I kind of figured, because the car does run fine. You know, if the element was like super fucked up, the car wouldn't run good at all. But the car runs fine. There's no mill or nothing. Now look at the other side. You can see the honeycomb is just fine. It's not this piece. I know it's not that, even though it does rattle right now. Even though this piece does rattle right now, because this is bolted down, this isn't what's causing it. But whenever I removed the cat, I noticed, or I heard something. You can hear that. So the whole honeycomb itself is actually loose in there. It's not attached to the piping at all. It's intact, but it actually isn't attached to the inner piping at all. So that's what was causing the rattling. All right, so I just took out this 12 mil that fasten tensions tells you to remove in the instructions. You see that's the steering column knuckle, and I marked it with paint because they said to mark it. That way when you put it back, it'll be aligned. But it is just a 12 mil, super easy to take off. I just used a 3/8 ratchet and an extension, and that was pretty much it. And then we're gonna go through the top now and take off the one bolt that's left. I don't know if you guys can see it. All right, so we did end up snapping a bolt. You can see it was the one that you had to reach up top for, or through the engine compartment. But doesn't really matter because we have it out now. And this one actually does have the same issue as the passenger one, where you can hear the element move around inside. That's the gasket, but you can see that the cat is good. All right, so they are in. They're still loose, but we're getting ready to tighten everything down. We reused the one nut for that stud on the manifold. I'm not honestly too sure about the orientation of these. Like, I'm not sure. I'm assuming you can't get the orientation wrong. I knew this one was a passenger because it has the bung on it, so that's why I wasn't really too worried about it. As far as the gaskets go, you can get these wrong for sure, because I put it on there and then I flipped it just to see if it could be on the wrong, like if it could be in the wrong orientation, and the gasket can be for sure. But you'll be able to see it. It'll like stick out past the actual like surface, or the mating surface. So you'll be able to see that it is not placed correctly. Oh, and the bolt orientation for these, I wasn't too sure how to, like, what way to go about it. I just put it how OEM was, so the nut was on the inside towards the front of the vehicle for this bottom one, This one was facing outward. The nut was facing outward. And then the one that's on the top left, I put the nut towards the back of the vehicle and the bolt going through the front. So everything that I took off, I put back on the way it was, because I'm not too sure if it matters or not, but I put it back the way it came back on just in case. So yeah, we're gonna bolt everything up, screw back our O2 sensors. You won't be reusing the bracket because these don't have the things on them. So you just use the O2 sensors, which will be fine because you have this to support the harness anyway. So yeah, I'm gonna put everything back on and I'll probably record my first impressions. I also have to do, there is a break-in process for these. So I'll be showing you how to do that. I also did forget to mention, you wanna tighten from the manifold, or you wanna tighten from the front to the rear. So before you tighten these, tighten the ones up the manifold first on both sides, and then tighten the ones on the rear. All right, so just a touch of anti-seize, copper paste. We already got everything tightened down for the cats. And obviously remember to keep your driver's side on your driver's side and your passenger side on your passenger side, because I have heard that does matter. So we're putting this back where it went. One thing I will say that I don't like about this is these kind of just hang. I thought these were going to be able to clip onto there, but they don't reach. And so they kind of just sit here. And the reason I don't like that is because if it touches the cat, obviously this could get burned. And then secondly, if it hangs down like this, it can get caught on something. So I'm probably going to zip tie it on the harness over here, and then on these cooler lines over here. All right, it is finally time. So we got our hair boxes in. Yeah, these connectors don't hold this shit in anymore. They're not broken, but they don't hold it in anymore. Have our boxes back in, our tubes, our intake tubes back in. Oh shit, I almost forgot. Damn, okay. That was a bit sketchy. I forgot about the steering column. Let me go tying that shit up. I got too fucking excited there. All right, so the steering column bolt is 26.5 pounds. I just torqued it to 30 just to be on the safer side. Now we're ready. All right. Now the lighting shit, that is what it is. About to get my first impressions on this shit. So, I'm nervous as fuck, dude. I'm nervous as shit. Shit, I forgot about the break-in shit. Hold on. What time is it? 8:56? Sounds very similar, which I like. That's what I wanted. Oh, you can definitely hear the low tones though. Holy shit, that shit is nice as fuck. At first startup, after install, let engine idle for 5 minutes. After a 5-minute idle, hold engine RPM at 2500 for 2 minutes. Ooh, you can smell it. You can smell it. Not bad. You can hear the low tones a little bit more. We're gonna let it idle for 5 minutes and then we're gonna rev it up to 2500. And then from there it says allow the vehicle to cool down for 1 hour before driving. Warning, 300 cell metallic core catalytic converters are not for use with forced induction, superchargers, turbochargers, or nitrous. Obviously no flame tune, backfire tune, rev popping tune. I ain't doing that shit anyway, so. I think we got her good. So far no mill. So far no mill or no erratic behavior. Everything's looking good. So yeah, we're gonna let it idle for 5 minutes. Then we'll rev it up to 2500, and then we'll have to let it cool down for an hour. So one thing I've also noticed as well, no more rattle. I should have took a video before it. Damn, but I can tell right now I can't hear any rattle at all. Nothing. So this definitely ended up fixing the rattle for sure. I could smell the fumes coming from the cats right now. I'm assuming it's just because of the braking process. I'm assuming it's normal. But yeah, holy shit. First power mod. My first power mod ever on any car. Alright, so 5 minutes have passed. Now we're gonna let it, or we're gonna rev it up to 2500 and hold it for 2 minutes. You can start to see some smoke now. We've still got 20 more seconds. I'm seeing smoke right now. We're not overheating though. Alright, we're gonna turn it off. 2 minutes. Oh yeah. Holy shit, yeah. Oh, pfft. Holy fuck. You can't see it on the camera, but there's definitely some smoke. Oh, there you go. There she is, boys. Sexy. Not yet. She looks good, but not 100%. We have to wait an hour before we can drive it. But honestly, yeah, it sounds very much the same, which is what I wanted. I wanted my car to be as low key as possible, because I enjoy doing spirited driving, and having a super loud modified car, you're just asking for trouble with that. So having something that blends in and is super quiet, that's exactly what I wanted. Exactly. All right, so we waited the whole hour and we're gonna leave now. I'm gonna turn it on, lift it up while it's on, just making sure there's nothing that's wrong with it. No like weird noises or anything. I'm pretty sure I'm good regardless, but we're gonna do that. And then I'll probably end up doing all the audio clips, because I've already done the before cold start, like a normal pull, 60 to 130 pull, spirited driving, and then we'll do that again with the high flows on. So yes, first impressions is it sounds pretty close to stock, with maybe like a little bit more lower tone, from what I could hear just idling it and doing the 2500 rev. So, and we got rid of that rattle. You know, that was the main thing, and now we've opened up more horsepower as well. So 2 positives that we've gotten. But yeah, shout out to Fast Intentions for sure. For sure. On quality, for sure. Build quality, super nice. So